Guys, we're back for round two in our vintage Masters draft with our sweet kind of like green-black rock deck. We would like to play first. Um, sand. Sand. I think we got to just get rid of it. Um, we do have some like we can cycle the Baron Moore in turn one to have possibly some play earlier. But just having two 5-drops, Earthwork Uprising, which doesn't do anything until much later in the game, I feel good enough about our curve that we will have a much better hand if we mulligan. So let's try it. And turns out this is a much better hand. Raphellos, pretty sweet. But now to mulligan. Raphellos is not great with this current hand, but I think I'll probably end up running it on turn two anyway. Opponent plays blue. I'm not sure if they're maybe blue-white. Yeah, alright. So that means that we could have a turn two Jungle Worm. The question for me is if he plays another blue. Okay, he does not play another blue. Alright. He could have Power Sink, I guess. But 2, 3, 4, 5, like Jungle Worm, and it's pretty sweet. Turn 3, 5, 5. We also have Expunge up next turn if for some reason he has the ability to play a guy that's it's going to be better. Phantom's not a card we want to play right now, but it's pretty sweet. What do we want to do here? I think we want to cycle the Tranquil Thicket. Just kind of give us an idea of what we're working with. I don't think there's any flash creatures, but it doesn't really seem like there's a reason to not just do this. Attack for a 7. We have Expunge up. I feel okay about just slamming the Wild Mongrel here. Yep. See what our opponent does. Opponent has not played anything so far, so Beetleback Chief would be pretty good here. Actually, I think blocks our Worm fairly nicely because it blocks 3 guys. Each get -1/-1 for each of them. So our guy would be a 2/2 and could, basically just trade for a Beetleback Chief. If that math is right. Man, Raphellos. For whatever reason, I played with this card a bunch of times during Q, but I never realized like the goofy look on his face. I'm pretty sure it's the same art. It just looks like he's so like, gee golly, this is great. Dex Duplicate. Enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except as haste and dethrone. Alright. I would imagine it becomes the Jungle Worm. And I would imagine he does not want to attack us with that. We will very gladly expunge. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, we don't have enough. We don't have lethal. I was thinking about not playing the forest. In order to potentially have lethal with Wild Mongrel. And I still don't think I'm going to play the forest. I think that next turn I would like to leave open if he plays like 2 creatures to make it so that he has to block Jungle Worm and Wild Mongrel. Alright, well, so our opponent's playing red-blue and has a Dex Duplicate. And this is all we know about our opponent's deck. I'd imagine it's probably like a counter burn deck. But if we got in under his counter spells, then it doesn't seem like there's really too much he can do. I don't we didn't really see enough of our opponent's deck to really figure out if we would want to sideboard something differently or, yeah. I think I'm just going to keep as is. I mean, if he's a blue deck, there's a possibility he's got a bunch of flyers, and Claws of Wirewood would be a reasonable card to sideboard in. But until we know for sure, I don't feel great about it. All right, on the draw, this is interesting. 5 lands is definitely not fantastic. But Blastoderm is definitely a good turn 4 play. And Dark Hatchling is, I mean, it seems pretty reasonable that we could cast it this turn. I mean, our opponent didn't do anything for quite some time. I really have no idea whether this is kind of the kind of hand we would want. We're up a game. that for the record, that's a horrible reason to keep a hand. We're up a game. We can afford to lose one. It's just bad. It's bad logic. But we are on the draw, so I've just imagined we're just gonna get punished. We're just gonna draw another forest next turn. That would be not ideal. Yeah, I hate it when I'm right. Alright, our opponent's got something. Oh, an Aquamoeba. Gross. Alright, well, at least that's something to do, potentially. It's kind of awkward because we can't main phase it next turn, not that we really need to, but otherwise we have to discard. Okay, now familiar. Does have flying, something to note, I guess. I imagine maybe this guy's some circular logics in there. Ooh, deep analysis. All right, this guy's deck seems pretty sweet. So like, now that we're actually seeing the mechanics of it. Mechanics is not the right word, but yeah. All right. I think we just want to play the Brindle Shout here, to be honest. Cycling the, I mean, it potentially blocks the Aquamoeba, which is fine. And the Tusker, I mean, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I mean, it could be a card that we just, you know, this seems like a game where we could cast it for 7. So we will play the Shout. Yep. It is. I do think we block the Aquamoeba here. It's oh, okay. I guess we will not block the Aquamoeba. It's not an option for us. I feel pretty good about playing Blastoderm next turn though. In blue-red, he doesn't have too many ways of removing it, so I wonder if he discards the card just to smash in. I'm not sure. I think I might have just done it. I mean, I without knowing what's in his hand, just because he has a deep analysis. Alright, Crossonvorian's interesting, but like I said, I think we just jam this Blastoderm. Is that right? The Vorian, I mean, it can pick off the Owl Familiar, which could be good, but it doesn't block well. I mean, it blocks neither of these things, really. I mean, it can block Aquamoeba and force him to discard a card, but I do not like that at all. So we'll play the Blastoderm. Not entirely sure how I feel about this game. Our Opponent has 4 cards in hand, 4 lands. Some stuff on the board. Even Familiar, which is kind of a low impact card. It's a 1/1 flyer. You know, against a deck that really doesn't have very many flyers at all. We also have to be careful to play around Circular Logic. I have no shame. I am going to look up Circular Logic. Circular Logic. Oh, yes. MTG. Circular Logic is another thing the rest of the time. Okay. Come on. Counter spell so it pays 1 for each card in your graveyard. Alright, yeah. So this is definitely something we need to play around. Especially if he leaves just about 1 million mana up. Okay. What do I like doing here? He's also holding up mana for Power Sink. Just something to think about. I think what I like doing is playing the Brindle Shoat. Then I have mana to cycle a Croson Tusker, which it seems reasonable for me to want to cycle a Croson Tusker here. Do I attack with the Blaster? I think I probably do. I have the Shoat on the ground. If he has another Mana War, that's not ideal. But we're not taking, we're not taking 1 million or anything, so leave a bit of our mana, represent Expunge. Yeah, there's just a lot of potential things our opponent could have, which is not great for us, especially with him not tapping out last turn. He has 5 cards in hand. I mean, he must have something. All right. So I assume it becomes a Mana War or a Blastoderm. I think Mana War is going to be the best for him, though. You Mana War the Shoat. You can attack. I technically have the throne over here, so that's pretty sweet. If it copies the Blastoderm, you have enter. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, well, that's a thing. I think I would have. I think I would have picked the Mana War myself, but I don't know. I mean, that does represent a ton of damage, so. And I will cycle our Croson Tusker. Okay. Cancel. 2. Okay. Yes. I'll take a Swamp. And I will, of course, draw another Swamp. Yeah. All right. So here, what do I like doing here? I think I just want to play the Dark Hatchling, kill off something. It's either the Manowar or the Aquamoeba. It should probably be the Aquamoeba because the Aquamoeba threatens to trade with the Dark Hatchling. Here... I think I have to leave the Blastoderm back. It seems like I'm not I don't even know if I want to block here. It's something that makes sense to do. But if he has a removal spell for Dark Hatchling, my Blastoderm's tapped. I don't want to take 6, 9 and go to 3. I think it's basically I have lost that game. How bad is the double block? The double block is bad, for sure. If he has another Chain Lightning after the fact, that seems pretty abysmal. Also, we have the Tusker to potentially trade with that thing next turn. I think I will block it. It's close. I'm not sure if it's the right move or not, but also, I guess oh, okay. All right, well that's a thing. Jeez. This is one of those situations too where like Corson Tusker doesn't do a ton. But I don't think just blind cycling and Baron Moore is going to be good enough. I mean, our best option is like if we cycle into Expunge or something. But yeah, Lightning Dragon does end up representing a lot of damage, but I think we have to play the Tusker. Then next turn we can always cycle the Baron Moore. We will cast this. We gotta hold back the the Dark Hatchling to block these guys. The Corson Tusker, I think, will go in front of the Blastoderm just because, you know, while I don't really want to trade for it, when it's going to die pretty soon. I'm at 12, and he has a 4/4 flyer with fire breathing, so I cannot really afford to, yeah, to not block. So I'm going to only have 1 blue mana, and I'm not. I wish I knew. I guess I could have a Brainstorm. Or I guess I get 2 blue now, so that's much less good for me. Alright, we will block here though, for sure. Alright, and our opponent is basically representing lethal next turn. What is happening? Oh, flashback deep analysis, okay. At least he tapped out. Alright, we will cycle this Baron Moore. We need to figure something out. Yeah, jeez. That is not ideal. Alright. Play the Corson Vorine. Swamp. We will have to chump the Lightning Dragon, unfortunately. Otherwise, we are dead. You know, while I would like to, you know, next level him and not block and see if he goes for the kill to basically tap himself out, that's just not going to work. Beauty to the eye does not always translate to the touch. Manowar's a cool card. I like that it's a jellyfish. I like all the other Manowar-ish cards, either Adept. Wow, I can only think of either Adept right now. Alright, Scrivener's gonna get back Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is a sorcery. I wonder if our opponent realizes that he has no sorceries in his graveyard. Nope. He just is playing it for the 2/2. Also, if you're, it's basically a free attack with Manowar and Owl Familiar. I suppose it's not. I mean, if I'm representing, yeah, he figured it out. Yeah, jeez. So, okay, so I think our outs are Famine. Next turn, I untap and attack the Lightning Dragon. Oh, actually, hold on. He hit me for 6. But that doesn't put me dead. Jeez. But it does put me real low. If I don't have to chump, I shouldn't chump yet. I just block here. Oh, but then... Okay, oh, I see, okay. That put me to 1. And like a Spark Spray would kill me. I don't really want to be dead to Spark Spray. This is really tough. Block here. This is definitely not a great block, for sure. For sure, I realize that. Basically, I think I really need to draw Famine next turn in order to get out of this one. So, yeah. Are you a Famine? No, you are a Wild Mongrel. Yeah, Wild Mongrel, you are not going to do it for me this game. I will concede. Yes. Lightning Dragon's a nice card. For sure. Oryx is even nicer, but, you know, it's not an option. Oh, I mean, it was an option, but I don't think it was the best option. Get a couple flyers. Do we want to play something like the disc? I don't know. I think our deck is fine. I think that hand was just ridiculously slow. I would not like to mulligan this. I feel pretty good about this hand. It's nice to have some early aggression. Actually have something to do. And I realize Brindle Shoot does not exactly account for early aggression, but the question here is, in general, I think it's better to just play the creature. Yeah, I think it's better to play the creature. I'm still gonna attack like this. I was thinking about just pumping here, but I'd rather have more things on the board, I think. It's close. Okay, it's fine. We will smash him with both next turn. Though it sets us up for kind of like an awkward mana war, where like he can block here and then mana war the token. Yeah, that is interesting. We'll see what he discards. We'll see what he's doing here. And we don't really miss out on... we're missing out on 1 damage if we don't attack with the Brindle Shout. So it might be better to just attack with the Basking Rootwalla. Basking Rootwalla is such a ridiculous card. Just a little lizard and tree. I don't know. It's definitely kind of strange to have to fill up space by yourself while doing a draft video or something like that. I usually prefer to do it with someone else just because it's a little bit more conversational. Here, our opponent discarded his Lightning Dragon, which is card is real sweet. So I assume something's up if he is doing that. Here we will do this. Do we want to cycle? Yeah, I think we just want to cycle the Barrymore. It gives us options. Like if we draw a Wild Mongrel, I'd rather just play the Wild Mongrel. Do we attack with Brindle Shout? I have no idea. I don't think the 1 damage is going to be enough. So I will say no. Like I said, I really just don't want that Mana War play to happen. And is a little action light. I mean, Dark Hatchling is definitely sweet. Not sure what our opponent is. Okay, looks like our opponent just doesn't have any red mana, or is trying to, you know, hold up Counterspell or something. All right, well, it's still, I still don't know, you know, about this attack and whether I should be attacking with it. You know, I came up with a plan. I'm going to stick to the plan. I think I'm just going to pump. He doesn't have rescind mana or anything like that, so play the land. Means we can't cycle our Crescent Tusker at the end of his turn or anything, but you know, our opponent, if they're not doing anything, I'd rather just keep getting in for damage. So we missed potentially 2 damage this turn, so our opponent, we just have to consider that in the scheme of things as to what was the better play. I'm not sure if our opponent is just on like infinite red cards or what the situation is. They just haven't really done much of anything. But, I mean, they do have 6 cards and have 4 blue mana, so... Oh, if this is a Mana War, I'm going to feel so vindicated. I feel great. We will see. It's a really cool avatar. I really like the Black Lotus. I gotta change mine. Not really sure how I feel about this guy. Oh, it is a Mana War. Man, I feel great. That just feels awesome. Feels great to see him have to use it on a 1/1 as well. So yep. Alright. What do we like doing here? What do we want to do? I kind of like attacking here. Well, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't really accomplish anything. It doesn't get any damage. It gets us to 3/3, which is better, but I don't know. I'm not sure how I really feel about that. I think this turn I want to play Defiler and Basking Rootwalla and pass the turn. Rootwalla. And depending on what he does next turn, we can Dark Hatchling, and that could be awesome. I like our deck though. I think it's pretty cool. I like the 3 Crescent Tuskers. I wish our deck also got to play Deep Analysis. So it's one of my favorite cards uh, ever. I mean, it draws you cards, and then it draws you more cards. It's really flavorful. It has the cephalids on it. Has a masticore in the middle. Is what they're doing the experiments on. So. All right, what do we like doing here? I kind of just want to smash with everything. See what he does. It does open us up to the Mana War thing. I mean, if he has more than one Mana War, I don't know. Whatever. Let's just do it. No guts, no glory. If I'm him... Alright. Okay. That's, what do I want to do? I don't really want to play Dark Hatchling. I think I pump here. Get a 3/3. Okay. Here I like... Actually... This. Play Wild Mongrel. We'll even leave up the Basking Ruella. Mana on his turn. I feel this game is definitely a little bit slow-paced. Both me and my opponent are taking our time, so I feel a little bit bad about the dead air. Wonder if there's other stuff we can talk about. So it teaches you to play dead. Definitely really sweet flavor text. It's not my favorite flavor text in Odyssey though. That would either go to Werebear, which is he has the right to bear arms, or there is I want to say it's called Giant Gorilla, just generic Giant Gorilla. In it. It has the card has a gorilla kind of like stretching his arms, lunging at someone, and it says want a banana this big. Which I think all of these flavor texts you can thank Mark Rosewater for. He's definitely a man who loves his puns, and I am too. I realize that a lot of people see flavor text like it teaches you to play dead. And kind of just roll their eyes, but can't get enough. Not sure our opponents either deep in the tank or like, went to go make a sandwich. So I'm not sure if they just gave up on red mana this game. All right, they're flashing back deep analysis, going to 7. I think that that's a reasonable thing to really tank about. I mean, our opponent still does not have red mana, just on mono blue this game, so it's interesting. All right, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I kind of like just jamming the Dark Hatchling next turn, depending on what he plays. If he just leaves open 4 mana, I think I still just play the Dark Hatchling. I don't, he counters it, and that, that sucks or whatever, but we still, all of our attacks are still insane. Alright, he's got another jellyfish. Man, I feel like I was spot on this game about the Mana Wars and the Brindle Shoat. Feels good. Can't pay 2 on my end step to a +2/+2, correct? I mean, it wouldn't follow over, is what I was saying. Those are abilities that are at the next end step. So yeah, that does not work. All right. Let me think about this. What's another thing about at the end of his turn? Okay. What do I want to do? So these Corset Tuskers could potentially be up to, if I cycle both of them, it means I would have 5 cards in my hand. So Wild Mongrel is lethal by itself. I don't know if there's a blue, like just an unsummon spell, but I think that I would go for it if he blocked Manowar and Defiler or Manowar and Basking-Royal. I can't imagine he does that. I don't really see the need to play Dark Hatchling here. I mean, my guys are just gonna destroy his, so. Opponent does have 7 cards in hand, which is pretty insane. All right, well, does block the Wild Mongrel, so block here. Well, okay, hold on. Let's undo. I suppose I should have probably cycled this beforehand. Yeah, we'll use the ability. Who will get? I'll get another swamp, sure. Okay. And then we get Forest to back it up. Okay, we'll do this. We will discard Forest. Make it a blue. Looks really weird. Okay. I don't see the reason to play a swamp now. I think we just keep it in our hand for Wild Mongrel. Next turn we can always play it and play the Crimson Tusker, or our opponent has found his mountain. I wonder how many cards they dug. So initially they have 40 cards. They draw 7. I don't believe our opponent mulled, so they see 7 cards. Then Obsessive searches once, right? Obsessive searches once. So they see 8 cards. Obsessive search again, 9 cards. Owl Familiar see 10 cards. Deep Analysis and Deep Analysis Flashback, they see 14 cards. This is turn 7. And our opponent was on the draw. So they've drawn 7 cards. So I just want to go ahead and throw out there that I decided the best way to figure out how many cards my opponent has drawn this game is by going through the graveyard and adding up everything, and not just looking at the cards in his deck. So I was like, oh yeah, he's seen 21 cards, and he's just now playing a mountain, and so basic math is there for. Got a Skywing Aven. Alright, it's got Chain Lightning. We will not send it back. We cannot do that. It's got another Skywing Aven. Okay. Alright, so our opponent is not dead. Ooh. Alright. Our opponent is now dead. Yes, they have no mana. Okay, so there is a possibility that our opponent has Force of Will. Do we play around Force of Will? Jeez. Because the cleanest win here, I think, is to just discard 3 cards to Wild Mongrel, making it a 5/5. Or we don't even need to do all those cards. Just 2 cards, and then we play Famine. If he has Force of Will, that's less good, obviously. I mean, we could just swing. He has to block the Wild Mongrel, obviously. Gotta think about this. Like the thing is, like we're very ahead on the board. We have 4 cards. We have the could have the same number of lands. We obviously have the life total advantage. Like the only thing I'm worried about is losing this game because of something that we could have played around. So we could attack with both. Like I said, he has to block Wild Mongrel. So he could double block Wild Mongrel. And that would be interesting. Because I could just make the Wild Mongrel 3/3 at that point. Ugh. This is, you know what? There's no reason to play that land. That was awful. Yeah, that was just bad. We're going for this kill. If he's got Force of Will, there's a possibility we still win this game. So. Five. Okay. Alright. Opponent's at 1. They are tapped out. As long as we don't mess... Okay, I was going to say. As long as we don't click through our combat step. Yeah, it's possible that there wasn't really even much to think about there. But, you know, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Looks like we're just waiting for one match to finish, so we should be back shortly for round 3 in the finals. And hopefully we can get there.